Hello BookTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you guys the top 5 favorite BookTube videos of this week. This is something that I am doing once a week where I just watch a lot of BookTube and I talk about my 5 favorite videos that I saw. This is a good opportunity for you to be introduced to new booktubers, go and visit them, follow their channels, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. So without further ado, we'll get right into it. So the first video I want to share with you guys is the September TBR video by Faith in Books. The reason why I chose this video as one of my top 5 is because in the first part of this video, she discussed putting together a commonplace book. This is something that I enjoy doing as well. So if you're not familiar with the idea of a commonplace book, basically it's a place to record like quotes that you come across, poetry, song lyrics, maybe you saw a funny billboard, just things that you want to remember. It's kind of like a scrapbook for words. It differs from a journal because it's usually someone else's words and thoughts that you are recording down in this book, as opposed to a journal where you would record down your own thoughts, right? So you are reading a book and you come across a great quote, you write it down in your commonplace book. And it's just a compilation of the neat things that you encounter throughout your life. Recording in commonplace books has been something that has gone on for a really long time. That actually might be a really great video topic. I have been doing commonplace books long before I really realized it was a thing. So I have like, this is my book of poetry, this is my book of quotes, this is my, and I have all these different books. So once I fill them, then everything was just gonna go in one book. But right now I just have like all these little commonplace books sort of started, right? Because before I understood the concept, I was keeping books of all kinds of different things. So anyway, she made a video talking about all of that, and it really inspired me, like, you know what, I really need to get sort of back to commonplacing. I even used to keep a little tiny journal in my purse so that when I was out, I would come across, something that I wanted to remember. I'd write it in that journal and then I'd go home and record it into my commonplace book. So I really was inspired to get back into that. So go check that out from Faith in Books so that you can learn all about that as well. Okay, and then this second video I found super inspiring. This is by Tristan and the Classics, and this is a video called 10 Autumn Fall Classic Books. The thing I love about this video that Tristan put together is it is so inspiring. He is so positive and his words are so beautiful in describing these books. He even mentions books that he's not so into, but he thinks someone else might be. He put together a really great list, but the way that he presented the list was really nice to listen to. I really just was like in the mood to go and grab these stories after I watched Tristan's video. I really like watching videos from him. He is very knowledgeable and just positive and cheers you up when you watch the videos that he puts together. So definitely go and check out that video or another one by him from his channel. He's really an asset to BookTube. Okay, the third video is from The Book Leo. She is a booktuber that I encountered when I first started watching BookTube. She's one of the very first ones that I watched. Her video is called How to Read Critically and Engage More with Books. She made so many great points about critical reading. So many tips for comprehending what you're reading and just having a deeper level of understanding, how to make books not intimidating. It is a really worthwhile video. She made it, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. It is an older one, but it just popped up, and so I watched it and I was impressed and inspired to go a little deeper with my reading, right? Don't rush it so much and pay attention and get everything I can out of the experience, right? Rather than being something to check off my checklist, my reading should be something that I am fully engaged in and experiencing, right? As much as I can in the situation I'm in, right? Number 4 is a video that Katie from Books and Things just put out. She was having a Zoom call basically with author Tom Mead, and their discussion was on classic crime fiction. It was really fun to watch this video. Tom Mead is just a very knowledgeable person when it comes to classic crime fiction and the different tropes and I just really was impressed and enjoyed watching that. I had never heard of Tom Mead. I've never read anything by him, but Katie was, sort of interviewing, sort of doing a back and forth discussion about classic crime. Of course, they talked about Agatha Christie and Daphne du Maurier and Wilkie Collins and the basics, but then he also mentioned a few others that I had not heard of before, and it inspired me to hold on to a few books that I actually had purchased to resell on eBay. The city that I live in has a very large population of retired and elderly people who are always donating their book collections to our city library's bookshop. And the bookshop sells books for 50 cents and $1. And so I'm always in there picking up books to resell online. But often I find really cool books for myself as well. And I have this whole stack of crime fiction from, I don't know, between the 30s and 60s maybe, with, nice dust jackets and the, really neat original artwork and all that. And so I had picked them up to sell them, but I kind of think that I want to read through them first and see if maybe I would enjoy reading some of this classic crime fiction. He talked about how the ones that have survived, like Agatha Christie and Arthur Conan Doyle and Wilkie Collins, and there's just a handful of people that have sort of survived in a big name throughout, but how many of those authors from the golden age of crime fiction are just as great as some of these names that have endured? They've just sort of been, for whatever reason, forgotten. So it was a really fun look into that genre that I don't really read much of, but they inspired me and made me feel like, hey, maybe I should pick up a couple from that genre. All right, then the number 5 video is from a new to me booktuber named Nerdy Kathy. How can you resist watching a video from someone who is called Nerdy Kathy? So I clicked on her video, which is titled Why I Don't DNF Books. And I thought that was very interesting because I am all about DNFing a book. If I'm not enjoying this book and I haven't already committed for some other reason, I will just be like, bye, right? I might save it for later on, or I might just go ahead and unhaul it and, give it away somewhere. But I don't really have a problem DNFing books. I have no guilty feelings or anything like that. I have very limited time to read and very limited quiet time, and so I want to make the most of it. And so if I'm going to suffer through a book that I don't enjoy, I have a bigger reason why, rather than just wanting to be entertained, right? But she made some really great points about why she chooses not to DNF most books. And I thought they were really good reasons too. I think another reason why I do go ahead and DNF books is because if I'm not enjoying a book, it really slows me down. And then I'm just sitting there thinking about all the other books I could be reading right now. And so I'm just like, might as well just go read those other books. But go and watch Kathy's video if you're curious about some reasons why it is a good idea to stick with your book and finish it up. She makes some great points in that video. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed these. I hope you will go and check out some of these booktubers. Let me know what you have come across this week on BookTube that you thought was really worthwhile and worth watching. I think it's fun just to put together these wrap-ups. I hope you guys are enjoying them. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.